I just thought I'd make a short video covering what we went over during the Juvenile Girls Instructional Night on Monday. You all did very well. Hope you enjoyed it. Just the main points that we covered were to do with grip, setup, posture, and the actual stroke itself. The first thing I want to talk to you about is the grip. Keep it as simple as possible. Palms facing each other, hands close together, thumbs straight down the front of the paddle grip. So we have a paddle grip here to help us on the putter. Thumbs straight down there will give us palms facing each other in the direction of the target. Second, we talked about setup, ball position. We wanted it pretty much in the center, or maybe just left the center. All of your right-handed players, so it's just left the center for a right-handed golfer. The other thing we talked about was the actual design of the putter. Most of you had putters like this that have a little gooseneck, is what we call it, designed into the putter. And that can be a little bit misleading at times for people. When we put it down, it might not look right, so we bring our hands back so our hands are over the club head rather than over the golf ball. So this little gooseneck here is a design feature that allows us to get our hands directly over the golf ball and give us a nice strike. If we have the putter in this fashion, what we'll find is we get a lot of putts that bounce along the putting green and it doesn't get to the hole. We have to hit it very hard to make it go the distance that we want. So I think instantly when we changed the setup, we saw a great improvement in the ball striking. One more thing we talked about was posture. And what we found was some of you were standing quite close to the ball and tall here. You had very little room to swing your arms. So we moved a little bit further away from the golf ball. A little bit better posture, so our eyes now are directly over the golf ball. A little drill that we did was just to take golf ball from the bridge of our nose, drop it down, and if it was more or less on top of where the golf ball was, then our eyes were directly over the ball. And then one last thing we spoke about was the difference in the actual swing itself to a normal golf swing. What we found was that in a normal golf swing, our shoulders turn this way and then turn towards the target, and there's a lot of movement in the body, obviously to make the ball go a good distance. Whereas in putting, the shoulders just rock up and down. So there's a big difference there. We talked about having as little motion as possible from the hips down, almost like we were stuck in a block of concrete or a block of ice. And if you just show you from this angle, again in a normal golf shot we would have turn our shoulders this way and again through the ball this way, but in putting, our shoulders are just rocking up and down. So we talked about the stroke itself. What we found was when we used our wrists to hit the golf ball, we had no control over the putter head, and the putter head was moving quite fast, and we had very little chance of judging distance. We found when we swung the putter just from our shoulders like a pendulum, we found distance much easier to judge. So I think those are most of the points that we covered. Again, this is just a little reminder. Rather than giving you handouts to read, hopefully this will be a better way that you can take it in and use it when you're out on the golf course. I hope you enjoyed Monday night's session, and we'll see you next week.